Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm doing a tag. So in today's video, I'm gonna do the eyeshadow palette tag round 2. I believe I did the first one the year in 2020, I think it was. The first one was. But this was created by Samantha March and Ali Glines. And I believe I did the first one. And this one is round 2. I love tag videos, so when I see any new tag videos, I'm gonna end up doing them. Okay, so one of the first questions in the tag was an all-time favorite palette. And I'm giving the spot to my Pat McGrath Divine Rose palette. This is the first palette mothership I ever got from Pat McGrath, and it is just stunning. I'm giving it to this place because it is a neutral palette, but it is something that I would wear every day. This is like my everyday neutral palette that I could wear every day and get a gorgeous look out of. And I just love the packaging too. I ended up getting the limited edition pink packaging when it came out. That's when I got it. And I don't know. I love this palette in general. I did want to give like a shout out to like a runner-up because I almost went with this palette. But then when I thought about it, I feel like an all-time favorite should be a palette that you would wear every day. And this one just isn't a palette I would wear every day. But it is a beautiful fall palette, and that is the ColourPop Good Sport. So it was definitely a runner-up as my all-time favorite palette because I just think it's the most unique color story that ColourPop has come out with. It is freaking stunning fall palette. It's my go-to fall palette in the fall time. But if we're talking all-time favorites, this is like all-time favorite fall palette. But all-time favorite all around is definitely the Divine Rose from Pat McGrath. That's just, it's stunning. It's a great everyday neutral eye look that you can create good looks with. So the next question is a new favorite. So I'm going to give that to my Pat McGrath. We might see quite a few Pat McGrath ones in this one. But this is my Pat McGrath and Bridgerton collab. This is the Mothership Diamond of the First Water. Looks like this. This is definitely a new favorite. I just love the color story. Your looks, you're not going to get too many different looks out of this palette. But your look is going to be stunning. I think you can get like 2 different looks. Like if you go with like this all in the crease and then just do this on the lid, it's going to look completely different than if you use these 2 shades. But this is definitely a new favorite. I absolutely love this palette. I think it's stunning. I love that this is one of her only 6-pan palettes where she included an astral shade in here, and the blue is just, it is gorgeous. So I'm definitely, this is my new favorite. I love it. I love it so much, and I love the packaging. So I just keep it in the box because I love the packaging of it too. Stunning. Next one is a palette you keep for the memories. So that would have to be, and there's no name on it, but it's the Tarte Mermaid palette. It's the Make Waves and something. I don't remember the name of it. Here's what I found. Shut up. Be a mermaid and make waves, because Suri just told me because she was listening to me when she wasn't supposed to. But here is what it looks like. This is a palette I keep for the memories because not only is this the first eyeshadow palette I bought when I first started getting into makeup and watching like beauty YouTube. So I think this was back in 2017, 2018 when this palette came out. And as you can see from looking at it, I have used the crap out of this palette. And this was also the palette I used on my wedding day. I used the mauve pinks in here on my wedding day makeup, and it was just stunning. I'm sure I'm close to hitting pan on some of these shades in here, but I have to be honest, I haven't used it in quite some time. So it's been a while since I've used it. This is definitely a palette that I keep for the memories, and one I'm never going to get rid of just because it was the first palette I ever bought, and I used it on my wedding day. So it has some great memories in here. But I still love the color story of it though. It's a neutral color story. The next one is an underrated palette. So the one I end up going for underrated palette is the Midas Cosmetics X the Basic B. This is the Perception palette. I just think Midas Cosmetics in general is an underrated brand. But here is the, look at this color story. It is freaking stunning. I love this color story, and I definitely think it is a underrated palette. I didn't hear too many people talk about this palette when it came out. I didn't see too many videos on it or anything. But I definitely heard that these shades, the shimmers in here, were much more stunning and stepping up from Midas. But I feel like Midas is a brand. It's just a brand that not many people talk about, but their eyeshadows are really good. They have really good mattes. Their shimmers, the metallic shades are very metallic and beautiful. But yeah, I just feel like not many people talk about Midas. I know a lot of people that are doing this eyeshadow palette tag put BH Cosmetics in the category of underrated, but I don't feel like BH as a brand is really underrated. A lot of people on YouTube talk about BH Cosmetics and how good their form, at least a lot of people that I watch talk about BH Cosmetics and how good their formula is, but not too many people talk about Midas Cosmetics. And I did hear that they might be going out of business too this year, so they might have a sale going on and stuff. But I really loved this Perception palette. It's just stunning packaging, and I like the colorful, the color story, how colorful it is. But yeah, I feel like Midas as a brand is underrated. It needs to be talked about more because they were really good. I have other palettes from them too. So the next one is not a favorite but can't get rid of, and that has to be the Sephora and Moschino laptop palette. It looks like a laptop, obviously, but it looks like this. So as you can see, it's freaking stunning. It does have, these eyeshadows are really good. Let me put it this way so I'm not blinding you with the mirror. But these eyeshadows are really, really good in here. Only thing, and this silver shade, freaking amazing. It is the best silver shade ever that I've ever used. But, and I bought this because of Teresa's dad. She was raving about the silver shade and all the colors in this palette. But the reason why I put it in this category is because sometimes I look at this palette and I just don't know. I don't know what look to do. I thought about an all purple look or maybe a green look, but there's more shimmers in here than mattes. So I look at it and I'm like, I don't know what look to do. It just, I don't know. I don't know what it is about the color story. Maybe it's too colorful for me. I don't know. But it's definitely one that I keep because I do love that silver shade in here. The silver shade's good. All of the stuff in here is good. It's not available anymore though. But this is definitely one I would put in that category just because I get confusion when I'm looking at it. Like, what eyeshadow look should I do? Maybe because it's such a big and bulky palette also. But I have a hard time coming up with looks with that palette. And the next one is Fave Collab. My absolute favorite collab. I have it right here. And this was hard to think of because I have so many collabs. I have the one with Oprah and Samantha March. I have the one with Kaleidos and Angela Nikovist. And I have the one with Smoky Glow and Midas Cosmetics, which I love that one too. That one's like one of the ones that I started my channel with. That was maybe the second video I did. It was either the second or third video I did on my channel. So it was one of the ones where I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to start my channel. But I don't think I have any more collabs besides those ones. But the one I went with as my favorite collab is the Lethal Cosmetics and Teresa is Dead. Teresa's Dead's the one that inspired me to start my channel. I have been watching her since she had I think maybe 200 or 300 subscribers. She didn't have that many when she got recommended to my For You page on YouTube. And I was like, who is this Teresa's dad? When it popped up on my For You page, who is this Teresa's dad? I need to check her out. Because I was like, she must like horror or something. That's why she's called Teresa's dad. I was right. She does like horror, and that's the reason why she has her name. But she inspired me to start my channel. And she had talked, she pretty much manifested this. Because she had talked about Lethal Cosmetics formula. And their formula is freaking bomb. And I just love the color story. I love the names. I love everything. It's based off of those 80s and 90s horror movies. Just the names. Straight to VHS. The Final Girl. Spellbound. Watery Grave. A Body Snatched. Ancient Evil. Predator. Creature Feature. And Vengeful Spirit. I think she did an amazing job with this collab. It'll forever be my favorite collab. I'm never going to get rid of it. I even have the liners from her that came with this. But I was so excited for her when she did this. It felt like, wow. Especially when it comes from somebody who was watching her from just 200 or 300 subscribers to seeing her doing a collab palette with one of her favorite brands. It was just an exciting moment. I felt excited for her. And I'm glad that she got to do this. It was awesome. The next is 2021 favorite. And my 2021 favorite is my Natasha Denona Retro palette. This I didn't have to think of. When it said 2021 favorite, this was definitely my favorite palette that came out in 2021. It is just my favorite color story. It's mauve purples. That's my favorite everyday eyeshadow look is mauve purples. So here is a look at the palette. It is just stunning. I don't know. It's a pinky purpley color story. It's mauve neutrals. This is pretty much my everyday palette besides the Pat McGrath Divine Rose. This could also be an everyday palette for me because those are more the shades that I gravitate towards for a everyday look. So yeah, this will never be a get rid of ever for me because it was just my favorite. I love it. Next is a palette you didn't expect to love. That one goes to my Natasha Denona Bronze palette. I bought this palette when it first came out. Everybody was so excited about it, and it was the first one. Here's what it looks like. I just didn't expect to love it because I'm not a brown neutral lover. But there's just something about this one that is a little bit different than your normal brown neutral palette. I feel like it just has a little something extra. And it just, I don't know, I love it. It turned out to be the only palette that I have really that's a brown neutral palette besides the BH Cosmetics Waffle Cone palette. But yes. This is definitely a palette I didn't expect to love, but I end up loving anyways because I just don't normally like brown neutral eyeshadow palettes. They have a palette that sparks joy. For me, I end up choosing the Pat McGrath Mothership Divine Rose 2. Just these colors in here, they're just that bright pink, and you have that trio chrome in here. Just, I get so excited every time I use this palette because it's freaking stunning. I don't know what to tell you. The Pat McGrath shades, something about Pat McGrath palette, when I put this on my eyes, it makes me feel the most beautiful that I've ever felt. I feel like I look good when I'm wearing her palettes. I don't know what it is about them, but they just do something to you. I feel like I look stunning whenever I'm wearing one of her palettes, and this one just makes me, just because of the color story, it is pinky, purple, neutrally mauves with that pop of bright pink. And I love the trio chrome. It's just something about this just makes me happy every time I look at it. But there's other palettes I could have easily put in this collection, like the ColourPop Lizzie McGuire palette. That makes me happy when I open it up because it just takes me back to time, to those memories when I was watching the show. I could have put my ColourPop Malibu Barbie palette here because the color story is just so summery and beautiful, and that one really brings me joy. I think eyeshadow palettes in general just bring me joy because it's my favorite thing to do in my makeup collection. But it definitely goes to the Divine Rose too. Newest palette in your collection. The newest palettes in my collection that I got in the mail are my BH Cosmetics traveling palettes. I ordered these on January the 1st, and it took me like 2 weeks to get them from there because FedEx was taking forever to deliver. But I got the Passion in Paris and I got the Lost in Los Angeles. They both came in the mail in the same package. They were on sale for after the holidays. The Passion in Paris was only $7 and this Lost in Los Angeles was only $5. I had been wanting them and people have talked about them on YouTube, so I decided to go ahead and pick them up when I seen them on sale. And yeah, these are my two newest palettes. And if you're wondering what's on my eyeballs today, it's actually the Passion in Paris palette because I decided to do a full week of BH Cosmetics palettes. So that'll be coming to you probably next week, so I'm probably going to put this up before then. First palette used in 2022. I already know this was the easy one. It was my Sigma Cinderella palette because my husband bought this for me for Christmas. And here is a look at the color story. It is just stunning. It is like, I think that out of all the Disney collabs, honestly, Sigma did it the best. Sigma did it the best. They did a Disney collab and they made it more grown up. I think they did it the best. They just made it more of a grown-up collab of an adult Disney. A Disney adult would use instead of making it look more kiddish. I don't know. It's stunning. I have a video on my channel using everything in the collection for my what I got for Christmas video, where I do use this whole collection because I got the entire collection for Christmas from my husband. But it was the first palette I used in the new year because of that. That was the last question in the tag video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tag. I will have Samantha March and Alec Lines videos in the description box down below, so you can check out their video too if you haven't. I'll also have the questions in the description box down below too, so if you want to make your own video if you're a video creator. If you're not a video creator, you can always leave the answers to the questions in your comment section if you want to. I just love answering tag videos, so I thought, why not add another one? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up down below. And if you're not yet subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel. And next to the subscribe button is the bell. You can ring that if you want to be notified of all my future uploads. And I hope you guys are having a great day, night, weekend, whenever it is you're watching this. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.